Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Bash with Aesir Strategic. Today we're going to be going over one of the local ops that we just went to, Doubloon 3, the Uprising. Misfits put this op on. Really cool op. These guys spent a lot of time in prep and, of course, the actual setup of the game. You're going to notice here several structures. And again, this is just one of several towns that these guys have got. You guys probably aren't going to see it, but at night we had a night op that was pretty amazing. I had a great time at it. This whole area here was lit up, smoke. I mean, again, pretty intense. These guys spend a lot of time prepping for this op every year. Again, this is a third year running for this, and they plan on having a fourth. You're going to notice these structures here, that two-story. I mean, this stuff is solid, guys. They really built this right. Obviously, whoever was out there doing this knew what they was doing, and these guys are slowly improving this stuff. You can already see they weren't able to get some of the painting done, but again, it's it is a work in progress. But these guys have done so much to this field. They've cleaned it up. They keep it very well maintained. At this point right now, we're just kind of moving up the road to try to get to, I guess, another little town. Again, this place is about 24 acres, but it plays huge. So good AO, nice sandy ground. Don't have to worry about rocks. But just to kind of give you guys a heads up, Metal and I had the privilege of testing out these Polar Star Gen 3 fusion engines in the Elite Force platform. Really impressed with these things. Thanks to JP and Bo at AMS. Give you guys a shout out. We really appreciate you guys letting us test this stuff out. Heard a lot about the Polar Stars, and to be honest, we were a little skeptical. But after today, believers all the way. These things shoot about 20 to 30% further than what your standard AEG does with the hop up. Again, base guns, no modifications at all. So you go throwing an R-hop or something like that in these things, and I would imagine that they're going to be, wicked, to be on the other end of the receiving end of these things. One thing I will add is that, these things have got the red line, kit set up with them to where, of course, the tank screws into the back, so you don't have to mess with any remotes or anything. Right here, you guys are going to notice we've got a row player. Again, this is another element that the Misfits have really stepped up to try to add into the player to try to change things up. There was obviously row players. This is a civilian here. There were IEDs that were actually really, really cool IEDs. These things actually had trip wires, pressure plates, all kinds of cool stuff set up for these, for the actual enjoyment and the enhancement of the game. Here we're just trying to negotiate with this guy to get location on a few items that were, part of our mission to try to collect. Again, a lot of forethought went into this, and you guys are going to notice the environment here. It looks more like a wooded area. The trails are real cut out. Here we're coming up on a POW camp. There's our civvy again. Guys are everywhere. Seems like everywhere we went, we was running into him. But again, this you can see here. This is a POW camp. Great location. This stuff right here is so thick up in here. I mean, but yet again, these guys have spent a lot of time clearing it out. Here we're taking a little bit of fire. This is kind of my real first experience with this, Polar Star. Not real sure where the fire's coming from. Start noticing that this brush up here, and I will add, guys, this is pretty thick stuff. I'm shooting 3-round bursts, and this thing was punching right through it. Keep in mind, Polar Stars get a bad rep because guys turn these guns up. This gun was chronoed probably around 320, maybe 300 with these 3.2s, and well within the field limits. And man, you talking about being able to punch through stuff and get guys. This guy, again, I'll add, he made a fantastic shot on me sitting there. And again, you got to call that stuff to make guys, feel good, and of course keep the game honorable. So we've basically set up a perimeter around the POW while we search. If you guys are new to the sport and new players, notice that we've got a guy behind us that you really don't see. We got guys out to the side, but everybody's watching every angle. One thing a lot of new players don't take advantage of here, and that I'm jumping into is shooting underneath the brush. A lot of times that growth will grow up and leave gaps underneath there, and of course you can take advantage of that. And I end up getting about 3 to 4 kills, right here by just taking advantage of that kind of thing. But again, these 3-2s are punching right through. I took a little heat from Coco with the Misfit Squad with his with his support gun. He wasn't able to punch through this stuff at all, and again, he was shooting up above, trying to shoot down at me. And man, it wasn't getting close, but boy, I was able to punch through with these 3-2s, shooting low through this undergrowth and get through and get those kills. But again, just to stress that, not to make this into a Polar Star review, but very impressed with this gun. You're probably going to get about 700 to 800 shots out of a standard Generation 3, without any, obviously, modifications. Here you're going to see sticks. We had a guy that Slab, he took a hit, so sticks, really went above and beyond, kind of trying to crawl up there to get his teammate, his battle buddy, back into the fight. Cowboys don't really last long in these milsim events because they obviously run out, they blow their load, and these guys are out. And of course, if you're not in the game playing, you're not doing anybody any good. That's why it's so important to stay with the battle buddy. There's 3 of us right here. We're hanging pretty tight together, so that if one guy gets shot, obviously we can go retrieve and pull this guy back. Really impressed with this op again. You guys are going to notice all this sagebrush. Well, this is, again, the transition point. Really thick, nice clear trails. Didn't run into really hardly any snakes out there or, bugs. It was actually really nice. Great days, probably in the 80s. But again, nice breeze, kept everybody cool. Probably helped with some of the bug situation. Here we're coming up on what they call TA Town. We're trying to circle around. We had ran into several contacts up around this corner. But again, just trying to be cautious when we come around these things. People like to walk these trails, and probably not the best place to be. And you're going to kind of see me cut off here to the right side pretty quick because, I feel like we're kind of standing out in the open. But again, here's a good example of the environment that you guys see. This is on the opposite side, so it's almost like you're in completely 2 different worlds when you go out to this place. You're going to get a quick peek here. There's a civvy out the corner. Took a few shots at him. Did some civvy slaying here. Sorry about that, guys, but hey, it's all in good fun. Here, if you guys notice, Slab and a couple of my other guys are running this Mandrake Cryptek camo. Very effective in the green environments, not so much out in the, of course, in the grass areas. Now, one thing I will add is that probably Highlander would probably be ideal for this type of area. But again, Mandrake, we had several guys when we were in the green areas that literally are having severe difficulty locating us unless we started to move or something like that. Now here I'm again trying to flank around the side while James is hitting pretty hard up on the end. A guy got a good shot on me there. Again, my battle buddy wasn't far behind me. He was able to medic me, get me back up. Again, we're just trying to move up the side here. We end up running into a few more civvies. We're able to move into the town. This is, of course, on Sunday. Saturday was kind of a different story. The civilian group really put up a great fight, and those guys did awesome. We had a lot of good, players, a lot of good friends out there, roaming around. Some of the guys from, obviously up around Kansas City came down. Locals from Oklahoma City, all the Misfit guys, the dogs. I mean, a real good group of guys that were showing up. We had a few young players out there that were, obviously getting exposed to some of the veterans. So, but all in all, man, this is a really good time. This here, you're going to try to see me waiting for James again, waiting for my battle buddy to move up here so that we can start advancing up on JP, who's heading out here in the bushes. Again, JP, thanks for letting us borrow your gun. This thing punched right through this bush that JP was standing behind or sitting behind. He said that, again, you can kind of see the thickness of these things, but these 3.2s with this Polar Star were just rocking right through that thing. kind of left my battle buddy out there a little bit while I was reloading. But we're going to advance up here. We know wherever JP is, Bo's not going to be far behind. So we're on a search and destroy mission right now. We just took a couple shots from Bo. Again, the most important thing here, guys, is knowing, what your guys are going to do, and again, being able to react to that. Here, you're going to see, again, me reloading again. I'm kind of laying down some pretty good little suppressive fire with that 3-round burst. AMS is going to be going to a single round, but I guess a single fire, for these rifles. We're really excited about that. I think that's going to add that extra realism, to these, milsim events. Again, here, trying not to get tunnel vision, trying to keep a survey of the area to make sure we don't have anybody coming up on the side of us. And I'm going to kind of do an epic fail here. If you guys notice, James had pointed out to me that there's somebody on the right side. He didn't identify whether or not, or at least I didn't hear him identify if that was a friendly player. So, I'm a little antsy. It's better to ask for forgiveness than, leave your guy out there high and dry. So I shot you. But it was after the fact I realized that, that was my guy that was shooting back in at Bo on the corner. And, again, friendly fire still counts. So here, me and James realized that we're probably not out in the best area in the world to be, trying to push up. And these guys spawn is not too far away. So we're going to do a nice little tactical retreat and get back to the town and try to secure that area. But just if you guys can, take a look at this environment here. It's amazing. Here's a little bit of the TA town. Again, these guys took the initiative to even build little fences, and this is not, obviously not something you want to go scaling and jumping across, but again, this stuff is sturdy. It really adds that extra effect to the town, gives it a nice, lived in, almost a third world, feel with the environment and everything around it. This is Toxic here, the guy in the beard. He was our CEO for the op. Did a great time. That's metal, showing his butt. But hey, he's a cool guy, and if you guys haven't played with him, man, he's a real go-getter, And there, of course, is Nasty, another, good player there. Here I'm going to add that you start noticing us, we're kind of huddling up like a bunch of football players. Not the thing to do. I kind of noticed that this is going on, so I decided to do the rabbit, which is, of course, just run across like an idiot, hoping that I can get over to this, civvy who's running from me, and try to get her, of course, into this POW camp, because obviously that's our mission. But again, didn't leave my battle buddy. He was right there with me, and we ended up, slowly pushing over into this POW camp very cautiously, because we've been burnt on this in the past. But again, if you guys ever get the chance to go out to this Doubloon or this TA airsoft field located in Norman, Oklahoma, the store is actually located in Oklahoma City. Again, this is an op you guys want to check out. Misfit Squad puts it on. Shout out to Drew and all his guys for their hard work. The admin was great. We had some really good players out there too. There's always, a few issues with guys, but again, guys, thanks for watching, and check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and our website. Thanks. Bash out.